dudes! Welcome! We're Steve, or this one's Steve, and this one's Dave. We're from the Happy Pear. We're all about health, happiness, community, and vegan recipes. We upload videos on a Tuesday and a Friday, and they're amazing.
So please subscribe.
Okay, over to you. Put this video out.
Okay, today we're going to make a caponata pasta bake. So caponata typically comes from Sicily in Italy. Typically it's an aubergine, stewed aubergine tomato based sauce that's often served as an appetizer or as a salad. Today we're going to make an epic penne style caponata pasta bake! Woo! Boom.
How do you know all about this?
A friend of mine, Pietro Malandrucco, he was from Rome. He was the one who taught me how to make caponata back about 2 years ago. It's something I make regularly and really love. And I just came back from Sicily, ate some during last week and felt, boom, let's shoot a video and share this epic food with you dudes.
So that's the root of it. Here we go.
Pan on a high heat. Surprise, surprise.
Okay, pan, high heat. Oil.
2 tablespoons.
Yes, sir.
But there is going to be a difference to this cooking method. Ooh. We are going to actually slightly stew our vegetables.
Ooh,
ooh la la. And just before any kind of Italian people start giving out to me that I'm breaking the tradition of this recipe, I am, and please don't criticize me for it. Typically it's just aubergines, there's celery in it, and there's often raisins in it, which I don't really like raisins in it. So I have left the raisins out, I have left the celery out, and I've changed it with a bit of courgette and peppers, just to supersede you dudes giving out to me. So we've 2 red onions, just chop them finely. Okay, into the pan they go. Next step, 1 aubergine known as eggplant on the other side of the pond. Remove the top. We're gonna chop it lengthwise into 4, sorry. Put it down on its side that way.
Is this part of the cooking method?
This is just an easier way of chopping it.
Doesn't look that easy to me.
Well, if you don't have a sharp knife, use a serrated knife. And then just down like this. And this will give you kind of literally 1-inch cubes, you see like that? So in goes our berenjena.
What are they in Italian?
Nice. Next step, 1 courgette. As I mentioned, not typically in a caponata, but I think it goes great. And my friend Pietro Malandrucco from Rome, he let me use courgette and it tasted fab. So again, I'm going to chop this quite small because we want this small and we're going to stew it down. So we're trying to create more surplus area with which to get the moisture out. Next step, I have 1 red and yellow pepper, just chop them finely. Okay, next step, I have a handful of pitted Kalamata olives. Typically in a caponata would be capers, but I decided I wanted to make this a little more accessible. For many people, capers, many people don't know what they are, so I just used olives.
If you don't like olives, could you just leave them out?
Yeah, but in this dish, the taste of olive doesn't come through. They're just gonna add a kind of meatiness and an underbelly of flavor. They won't dominate the flavor in any way. It'll just be an subtle undercarriage.
So just to translate that, Stephen is calling out to you, if you hate olives, maybe give them a shot.
Yeah.
Maybe just this once, just to try for sure.
Because I know with my family, they hate olives, but I'll regularly put them in tomato sauces and they won't notice. And it just adds this kind of extra underbelly of flavor. So right now what we're doing is we're trying to stew the veg a little bit. I'm going to get our tomatoes. I have about 600 grams of cherry tomatoes here. Use whatever type of tomatoes, and if you don't have fresh tomatoes, use 2 tins of chopped tomatoes. Okay, so all the tomatoes are in the pan. That's about 600 to 700 grams. I'm getting about a teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to just pop it in now. What it's going to help do is help kind of break down the veg and help release the moisture from the tomatoes. And now this is the bit where we want them to stew. So right now what's happening is you see the steam coming off now, that's kind of the water evaporating from the veg. Boom, we're gonna trap that. What we want it to do is to cook within its moisture and to end up with this really juicy, saucy, vegetable-rich sauce.
Wow, vegetable-rich sauce.
Yes.
Vegetable-rich.
Okay, we've let that reduce for about, or kind of steam for about 10-15 minutes. And the point,
Beautiful.
I've given it a couple of stirs and you'll see it's starting to catch ever so slightly and the veg's just looking really stewed.
And you can see the tomatoes have properly, kind of the moisture's gone down and it's helped to stew in that.
The veg is really looking just, Oh, like it would melt in your mouth. So
what's next?
So typically a caponata is a balance between sweet and acidic or kind of sour. So I'm adding in a little bit of apple cider vinegar. Typically it's a white wine or a red wine vinegar. I'm using apple cider because I just prefer it. So that was about 2 tablespoons or small tablespoons. In it goes. Okay, I've got my super right on baking tray.
I've got 250 grams of cooked penne pasta, and we're gonna add it right into the tomato, into the
sauce.
Roasted veg.
So we've gone with wholemeal. If you can, it's worthwhile. You'll just end up having higher in fiber and just better for you. So just give it a good mix through. At this point, I have some fresh basil leaves. I have about 50 grams of them. I'm just gonna rip up half them, just the leaves of half them. Just rip them up and put it through. Just gonna give a nice fragrant freshness. I'm gonna put half it in now.
And try to leave out the stalks because the stalks are very fibrous.
Yeah. So we're keeping half of it for when it's finished, the dish is finished. This is just to go in at this point here. Okay, in goes our pasta into our dish here, our super right on baking tray. Just make sure to get all that grizzly stuff down the bottom. That's real Flavorville. Downtown Flavorville. Okay,
It really looks amazing, really does.
beautiful, super Mediterranean colors, like really beautiful.
I know you can't smell it, but it really, the whole room just smells of roasted veg and basil. It's beautiful.
Okay, next up we have some vegan cheese. I've just gone for kind of basic vegan cheddar style cheese or Parmesan style cheese. I'm just gonna grate it over the top. I'm going with a generous serving. And just to finish it off, I have a good handful of pine nuts.
Beauty, yeah. And that's it.
We preheated the oven to 200 degrees. We're gonna bake it for about 8 to 10 minutes, just until the cheese is melted and the pasta is kind of gooed in together wonderfully. Boom. She's been in the oven 8 minutes, smells epic.
Boom. Cheese looks beautiful. Toasted
Really
pine.
does. Okay, top tips for serving. A little bit more grated out cheese, just looks great. This is vegan cheese, of course, or your cheese of choice.
And we're gonna pop a bit of basil. Goes fantastically well as well.
Just that fresh, and just try to rip it. You'll get that kind of real pungency coming out of it.
I don't need
Release
to put a
it
little.
into
Less is more.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
Beauty. Beauty, there we go. Okay. Spatula or serving spoon,
Vessel.
utensil.
Oh, it goes so gooey. Look at that, like look how gooey the vegetables go. The vegetables go in this where they'll nearly melt in your mouth.
Goo factor 10. Okay, here we go.
Mr.
Pasta
Clint.
bake Italiana Caponata.
Siciliano.
Look at that, look at all the steam. That tastes like Sicily. That tastes like Italian sunshine.
Like
And
it's
beautiful.
Just, it's soft and delicate and sweet and gooey.
And the veg melt in your mouth.
Like they're really
beautiful.
Do. It's a real elegant kind of light pasta. It tastes very light, doesn't it?
It tastes very simple as well.
Yeah, very
beautiful,
lovely.
really good. Thank you, Italy, for that. Really, really appreciate it.
Sicily.
Sicily, there you go.
Yeah.
Dudes, thanks for watching.
Highly recommend making it absolutely delicious, simple, easy, tasty. It took us, what, 30 minutes maybe?
3 minutes to make. And if you're into cookbooks, we've got a new cookbook that comes out in May. It's our best book yet by a distance. It's got 100 vegan recipes. It's called Recipes for Happiness. We've got a whole lifestyle section of what makes us happy. Really interesting. It's our best book yet. We're super proud of it. And it's
Link to pre-order down below.
It's $9.99 on pre-order at the moment. So
Yep.
it's a total deal.
Dudes, anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and buongiorno.
Ciao!